Nick Underhill, neworleans.football, who joins us every single Tuesday at 9 a.m. Nicholas, how we doing this week, sir?
Hey, doing good. How you guys doing?
Pretty good compared to yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of losses for the OTB squad this weekend, but it's okay. We're a day past what we were yesterday. We're moving forward now, but we will reflect on the performance that happened there in Buffalo, which I understand it. No moral victories in the National Football League, but there were some positive things, I think, from the New Orleans Saints after how it looked in Seattle.
I'm sorry, you cut out on me. I got you now.
No, I'm just saying, like, there's no moral victories in the NFL, but after what happened in Seattle, I think there's a lot of things in Buffalo that you can actually say were a positive for the Saints.
Oh yeah, they're 3-1 in moral victories this year.
Let's go. Let's go.
Woo, baby, let's go.
I mean, look, it's about the process. I think if you just enter it with the mindset and you're realistic about it, and I understand that there's a lot of people out there that are living and dying and want to see the win every single week. And I mean, of course that's the goal. But I think if you're looking at it realistically, they probably were always going to start 0-4. And I mean, there's the threat of, like, if you don't beat the Giants this week, when do you get that win? And I mean, if you're hanging on that, I mean, it's a dark existence. But if you're looking at it and you see it for what it is, and you're kind of expecting them to lose every game, you're looking at Jonas Sanker and going, okay, well, like, there is one building block established. That's a win. The coach had a horrible time of just getting his team lined up and getting a snap off in Seattle. 1 week later, he goes to another loud, hostile, crazy environment, and they're clean. And they have a better system for it, and they lose the guard who's signaling the snap count, put a UDFA rookie in, and, like, it remains clean. So, like, seeing those things makes me believe in the process a little bit more. They played them tough. 0-4 is a terrible thing. And Aaron Glenn's in the same situation, and you got Mike Greenberg coming for his neck. So, like, there is a standard, and there has to be, like, wins at some point. But, like, I'm just realistic about it, and I just don't see a very good team, and I think they cleaned up and played well. And I think you can hang your hat on that for now. Like, I do think, you got the Giants, you got the Patriots, you got the Bears. Like, if you're 0-3 through that stretch, I think we're probably having a slightly different conversation at the end of it, because at some point you got to win a game, and that goes for the quarterback especially. But I think right now, yeah, I feel halfway decent about the team coming out of there. I think their defense needs a lot of work. I don't know that I see all the bright spots on the O-line that I'd like to see. I'd like to see that be a little bit tighter. But, by and large, I think a lot of things went okay for them in that game. Got some run game going. So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely some bright spots.
Yeah, well, let's keep it on the Buffalo game just for a little bit longer. So the two bright spots for me watching the game was, you're playing Josh Allen. You can't hope to stop him. You can only hope to contain him type situation, but they contained him for a decent, like, he made his plays throughout the game, but they made his life kind of hell. They got after him a little bit, got a couple sacks. They made it difficult on him. But then on the other side of the ball, the running game looked great for most of the game. So I wanted to see, like, you've spent more time kind of going back and watching the replay of the game and everything. Like, what was the key contributors to the run game? I'm curious, was it just because they were sitting there with a light box, daring them to throw it, and saying, beat us with a run? Was it a bend don't break defense that they were playing again, or what contributed to the success on the ground?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a little bit of both. Like, definitely they got some light boxes, and I think they did a couple things to, like, really, really take advantage of that. They got a 17-yard run and a 12-yard run on the same look, where they put Alvin in. They spread out, got Buffalo all spread out, put Alvin in the slot, kind of motioned him into the backfield. They're handing the ball off. He's taking off to the left side out of it, right through and there was just a gulf of space on the other side. Both times I ran that. I think it was first quarter, and then early in the third quarter was the 12-yard run. So, like, there was a couple things like that, but the thing that was the biggest difference in it is they use more outside zone in this game. They've been running a lot of inside zone. They had 10 plays outside zone in this one. I think it was like 4 was the highest in the first 3 games, and they got a lot of yardage out of that. And then the other thing is they went under center and they just started handing the ball off. That drive that led into the Philly special play, like just went all the way down the field. And we haven't seen them do that really either. I think that was more about just being able to like hear the cadence and everything better at the line of scrimmage, but it was effective running the ball. So I think both those things help. And then when they're under center, they're running a little bit more inside zone from that look. And I think, that just helped them get a little bit more yards before contact. Coming into the game, they were like 0.2 yards before contact on inside zone. And I mean, if you're running that from pistol, like it's like 7 yards before you're at the line of scrimmage. So I think it just kind of maybe allowed some of those creases to pop open a little bit more. I'm going to be interested to see if they mix that in, because it was like strictly a shotgun offense. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school, but like I feel like play action from under center like kind of just works a little bit better than back in that shotgun look. Maybe that helps open up some deep plays. You create a tendency like, hey, you're going to run from this like every single time. Maybe you start out doing it and then you break that tendency and pop a big play or something. Like maybe it opens up a couple wrinkles, but I think they just kind of got a couple different things going. And I thought we saw the differences in the run game for sure. And then, just Kendrick Miller, like that was an extremely important game for him, I think, too, just to kind of show everyone, but more so show himself that like, hey, look, I can be, option 1B in this run game every single week.
Yeah, and also show Dennis Allen for if he was watching somewhere. Let me ask you about that pass that Olave threw. Gosh, it just felt like such a big moment in the game, and you're trying to do something to give you a spark there. It's like you don't mind plays like that, but if the play's not there, you got to just, live to play another down. And that play felt like it took a lot of emotion away from what the Saints had kind of built up there.
Yeah, I think I'm at the same place. Like, I don't like the play. I don't think I would have ran it. It felt like they were moving the ball well, but at the same time, I understand the thought process. So, like, I can't sit here and, like, call it a dumb play or anything like that. I think it was actually probably – I took it as, like, maybe honesty from the coaching staff about what they think about their red zone offense, that they felt like, running this trick play is their best shot at getting in the end zone because – you look at the data, like they just haven't been good in that area of the field. And like they had been running the ball, but the last two runs went for 3 yards. You're at 3rd and 5. I didn't like the 2nd yard pass either, maybe though. Like I probably would have I would have kept running probably on 2nd down, and then maybe you're at like 3rd and 2. That's probably how I would have approached it, but easy to say in hindsight. Man, like Cole Bishop, like you look at that play, like Shaheed's taking it, and then he tosses back to Olave on the reverse for the throw. Like before he even pitched the ball to Olave, he's breaking from the other hash. Over
it was a great play.
It was like it was doom, man. Like he's seen that thing just from go. Yeah, it was an amazing play. I didn't love it, but I understand it. And look, there's been like kind of 3 critical moments now. The end of half first week. What was the other one? They took the ball out of Rattler's hands. Man, I can't remember. It was another aggressive situation, but there's been 3 now where there's been 3 things where you kind of look at it and you're like, man, like how come they aren't like trusting them to do this stuff? But I think it's just kind of telling about what they think and what they need to do to score points. But yeah, it's been tough down there, and I think there's a couple little things that Rattler definitely needs to tighten up over the next 3 weeks. But yeah, I thought it was a little bit telling.
Yeah, I can't sit here and say that was a bad play call because that was probably the most underrated, best defensive play of the weekend. I mean, college or pros. It was incredible. Like the safety on the front side reads the play and makes a complete sprint of a play to the backside and is able to get the ball. Like that was an incredible play. So it's hard for me to sit there and say like, man, that was a bad play call because if he reacts like a split second slower. Yeah, on making like it's a touchdown, right? So, but you're right. Like you want to see them not have to do those types of plays in that type of situation to be able to put points on board. So it is a little telling, but Kellen Moore, he's an offensive, he's a creative guy. It is surprising to me that you brought it up, and I hadn't really thought about it. Is so much shotgun because that's certainly not who they were in Philly, and we kind of talked about it on here. We're on the same page with you too. Like play action's a lot better when you have the threat of a little bit more run under the center. Play action's a lot better when a quarterback turns his back to the defense, and that happens for the most part under center. Now you can get to it in pistol a little bit, but your back's not turned for quite as long. And it's so far behind the line of scrimmage, it's not the same effect. Has that been progressively? It never stuck out to me watching the game this past weekend, but now that you say it, looking back, is that like been progressively more and more shotgun each week?
It's been like exclusively shotgun every week until this week. They kind of hit that drive with it. And I think that was a problem in Seattle too. Like they couldn't hear nothing, and like I think it messed up some of the timing and everything. And they tried to switch it up this week, and then it worked well. But yeah, it's kind of college-ish, man. Like it's just like kind of standing back there like the whole entire game, never under center. Like play action hasn't been really working at all for them, and. Yeah, I don't know. Like again, I might have like overdosed on the Shanahan era of the NFL, but like play action married to like outside zone action just feels like you get those linebackers moving out of the way, and then you're creating space, and you can just open a lot of stuff up, and it's like their play action just really hasn't been like doing anything. So I'm just kind of curious to see if it kind of progresses a little bit that direction, but that's
well, Nick, I would say probably the top 5 offenses in the NFL. Which would mean the entire world are pretty balanced between shotgun and underneath the center. You look at the Lions, you look at the Packers, you look at even the Bills are going under the center. And I feel like Spencer looks pretty good under the center. He looks pretty comfortable for a guy that's probably been pretty exclusive shotgun in his college career. It looks pretty comfortable under there.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like I don't necessarily love the approach. And again, I want to see if it evolves a little bit because you get a little bit of success there. Kellen doesn't expand a lot on things at the podium. Like he's been asked about the shotgun stuff, a few times, and he just said he likes the timing and space of it. But I think it definitely needs to find a way to be a little bit more balanced. And I think again, like I think it would just open up a couple of them shots, and that's the big thing missing from the offense. And the whole league's kind of going that direction. You look and it's. Who are the passing leaders? It's like Carson Wentz with 350 yards, and then everybody else has 175, 200. Like it's just kind of getting, oppressed a little bit. And even Josh Allen, like, didn't have a ton of passing yards this week, and I think he's averaging 240 a game, and that's kind of the standard, which is way different than like 7 years ago. But you got to be able to hit a couple of those shots down the field. And I think for this team with the talent they have, the quarterback they have, like it's got to be manufactured a bit. And under center play action, I don't know. Like again, I might be an idiot, but like it just feels like that's the way to open maybe some of that stuff up when you're a little bit deficient at a couple spots.
I just looked it up. Shotgun percentage for the New Orleans Saints, 71.6% of the time. Pistol, 7% of the time. Under center, 19.2%. Of the time, and so that math
maybe it has something to do with it being like first and second and forever for a lot of the season.